Earth signs, welcome back to White Crow Tarot. I know we're all thinking, where the heck have I been? Before we begin, Earth signs, this is an energy check-in. Energy checking in. Alright guys, this will be a shorter reading for all the signs. You're all combined into this one reading today, Earth signs. Starting with Virgo. Virgo, you guys wanted to be first today, and I like to see that for you because there's been some energy. I myself have been trying to circumnavigate this retrograde energy. It's been an awakening. It's been a shift process. I know many of us are going through it right now, and it's not a negative thing, guys. Mercury retrogrades are not meant to be negative. It's a cleansing of energy. You know what I mean? There's stuff happening, stuff going on. I wanted to check in with you guys today because I know that I've been absent for the last 2 weeks or so, and my energy was really telling me, spirit was really talking to me, and I realized I was pushing myself. I was overdoing it. I couldn't connect. I was like, I just need to rest. I need to rest my mind. I need to rest this process. I'm going through some changes. Oh, by the way, speaking of changes, did we notice anything different? Did we notice anything different, guys? Guys, this is just a check-in. Virgo, you're up right now, so we're starting with you, of course. But really, tap in, timestamps are included as always in the readings, guys. So check in wherever you feel drawn to check in with your sign placement, okay? And guys, don't have any expectations about what you feel like needs to be said. It's what I have to say. There's an overall message for you, Earth signs, that I was drawn to, in meditation, I was drawn to the garden and the gate, getting out of our comfort zones, releasing old energies, perspectives that no longer serve us, including people, places, and things, all the nouns, basically, you know what I mean? Getting out of our own way. There's what we fear, some of us are doing shadow work right now. Some of us are realizing that, we've been propping our own egos up a little bit, and we're being kind of slapped in the face with our own fears right now. And it's like, God, was I projecting something that I didn't mean to project? Was I making assumptions about someone that it's not even how I personally think anymore, Calling into question our own guidance system. Like, are we making the right decisions? That's how a lot of us are feeling. And Earth signs, I feel like a lot of you have come in to call in or question yourselves. You're really heavily questioning yourselves, during this retrograde season. But all of this is to get you to be comfortable with accepting doing your shadow work, basically. Okay? It's a part of doing the healing work right now. Many of us are. Many of us are shedding old belief systems that we didn't even know we were still carrying. That's how deep some of that inner wounding goes, some of that inner, I would dare to say, childhood wounding even goes. Beliefs that we've been carrying. Little cloaks of armor, as it were, that shield us, that we buried really down there, So, like I'm saying, just don't have any expectations on yourself. The garden and the gate is about stepping outside of your comfort zone. You can get nestled into a comfort zone. Guys, you don't know just how hard it was just to move into, this is my office, by the way. The transition from my other space, and no, it's, lighting's a little different in here. It looks a little different at night, and it was all these internal things. I was going, gosh, I don't like the setup. I don't like this. I don't like that. I don't like the way it looks. I miss my shelf. I miss having my dresser here with my library of information just sitting here. And but I've been called to separate myself from it. And I'm like, you know, guys, Spirit's with you wherever you go. This energy goes with you wherever you go. You're not stagnant. You're not stationary. It's this fear of change. And maybe I'm tapping into you Tauruses right now a little bit on this part of the reading, you know. I connect with Tauruses very well on that front. This fear of change. And I was like, gosh, is this me? Do I really have this fear? Because I didn't think so. I mean, look what I'm doing here, you know. It takes guts to deal with some of this energy. It takes guts to put yourself on camera and detail out cards to people. People, you know, it's that criticism. You know what I mean? It's like, stop, guys, stop. I had to tell myself to stop. Stop. I didn't even know what I was going to talk about making this video. See all this smoke flying around? Just getting it out. Just releasing it. Just releasing it. Spirit's here, by the way. We're here. Helping with guidance. I asked for it. And guys, I want you to ask for what you need. Don't feel like nothing is out here to help you. If you have to, ask. I tell you that in every single one of your readings. Ask for the help that you need, because Spirit is right there listening to you, waiting on you to tell it what do you need. Trust your inner guidance. Trust what you're drawn to, what your intuition is trying to tell you, you know? Trust that. You're not wrong. I've had so many coincidences just over the last 2 weeks. But I was walking down, I walk my dogs every morning, and I was walking down the street, and there was a rock, literally in my path, this rock right here, and it's this beautiful river rock, you know, and it was just waiting for me. It was right there. It drew my attention. It got my attention. I was like, wow. I haven't been drawn to pick up a rock since I was a kid. You know what I mean? Like, just really drawn to... I used to collect rocks all the time, and I'm like, oh. And it was just waiting for me. It was right there. I've been seeing feathers. Many of you are probably seeing birds right now. Birds coming up and talk to you. Guys, this is White Crow Tarot. I got my crows here, you know, on the little decks and stuff. Virgo, I'm sorry to be, you're the first little tangent going off here, but I wanted to start with you. Again, this is just a brief little energy check-in, you know. I know, I'm rambling. But all this to say that sometimes that's all this is. It's not a huge message for you today. I just wanted you to have something, you know. Pay attention to what you're drawn to. You were first. I was so surprised to see this for you, Virgo. You wanted to be first today. You know? And I have Virgo in my chart as well. And I kept thinking, gosh, the hermit in me usually steps back, you know? I have to force myself to be first. And I recalled that. And maybe that's what I recalled that just now, actually. In getting over fears, because that's what I do, guys. I'm a Libra. I have to, my Queen of Swords comes out. I force myself to get to confront my fears. That is something I've always done. I have to do it. So when I saw you first today, Virgo, I was like, I love to see that. Because Virgo, I'm not going to lie to you, of all the signs on the channel, in terms of performance, you perform the weakest. And I was kept wondering why that is. Why? You know, but it's not my place to say. It's just the energy at this time. So it shocked me. It shocked me to see your energy want to come forward first. You, Virgo, that energy. You wanted to be first for some reason. For some reason, I don't know. But I just, if nothing else, I'm happy to see it. I'm really happy to see you taking some kind of an initiative in your own life to assert yourself, to say, I'm here. I'm here, world. I'm here, bitches. I'm here, everyone who tried to fuck me over or say something cruel or nasty or put me in my place. You thought you could keep Virgo down? No, you can't. I'm here. You are the hardest working. One of the hardest workings. You're so meticulous. You're so thoughtful. You're so ingenious. You are. Virgo. Every Virgo I've ever met has some level of genius about them. So... But, of course, you keep that hidden about you, too, because you're very practical. So it's hard for you to embrace levels of change within yourself as well. But just know that you can. So I'm happy to see this for you. All right. One card for you today, Virgo. I'm not going to make it too crazy. Oh, there it goes. Bam. The Magician. You see how energy works? There you are. You wanted to come out. Virgo, look at that. Look at that. The Magician for you, Virgo. There you are. That's lovely. Manifesting. Calling in something. Happiness. Look at that. The Sun. Let me know if you're dealing with Leo, of course. The Sun. You are calling in your own happiness. Some of you are very, very happy, by the way. Or just you really getting into a positive state of abundance and appreciation. Yeah, I like that. I love that, Virgo. I love to see this energy for you. I really do. That's beautiful. Manifesting. You're not doing it alone, either. You see your helpers? This is like Cinderella here. See the helpers, the mice, the helpers? And what does Cinderella do? She, the pumpkin patch, she made a wish. She called in her manifestation in her dream, but she's holding the wand. It's not the fairy godmother, it's her. She had the power all along, she just didn't know it. All right, overall message for you, Virgo. Queen of Staves, the Queen of Wands. Wow. Wow, Virgo. Calling in some really ancient wisdom. I'm drawn to the stones above her on her crown here. It kind of looks like orange calcite or carnelian, which is great. In fact, I just got carnelian myself. It's for confidence. Carnelian is wonderful for boosting self-confidence. So for those of you who've been feeling maybe low in your energies today or recently during this retrograde season and you're kind of recharging, think about getting some carnelian. In other words, though, Virgo, you are feeling confident. You came first today. Again, I was shocked. Your confidence is driving you forward now. You're not afraid. You're not afraid to attack your desires head on, and I like to see that for you. I do. Yeah! All right. We have secret seances, the spirit world, messages, assistance, and memories. Memories. That's lovely. We also have closing circle. Pure intent, sacred doors, timing, and experience. What I'm feeling, Virgo, some of you are actually could be even going through a seance. You're connecting with a part of yourself you forgot. The spirit world as well. You're seeing things being reflected back at you. Spirit is talking to you heavily at this time. You're seeing the messages. You're being guided. You're being assisted through this retrograde, if you want to call it that, or just through life in general, being shown the way. So pay attention. Pay attention to what you're seeing, what you're feeling, And memories. Good memories. Manifest from those good memories that you have, those playful, loving memories that you have, maybe even from when you were a child, Virgo. That's where you did some of your heaviest manifesting and creating. You need to maybe even step into your child self. And that's what this inner healing is about, guys. Releasing those fears about what we thought we couldn't manifest. Yes, you can, Virgo. Yes, you can. We also have closing the circle, this pure intent, those sacred doors, timing and experience, because timing plays, there is divine timing, guys. And many of you have felt like you've put all this effort in, and yet you still, all this time and all this work and all this effort in, and yet where's my manifestation, right? Where's my happiness? Where's my sun? The sun. For some of you, that could even be a literal translation. It's here now. So, because this is some heavy energy, beautiful energy that I've never even seen for you before, so I love to see it. It was all in perfect timing, and the universe is asking you to quiet your mind. See your hand over her mouth here? Quiet your mind and go within and remember. Remember the power that you have, Virgo. Your intuition is also trying to activate with your root chakra. You're balancing the two now, the sacral chakra with your intuition. Your stability, your comfort, your root system with this new knowledge that you are being given. So pay attention. Virgo, I told you, not a very long message, although I did manage to speak for about 15 minutes just on your section here, but I hope something in here did serve you. Please let me know. I'll see you very soon for your... Look out for the eclipse, an eclipse reading for you, the solar eclipse reading for all the signs, as well as your general love readings. I'll see you soon, Virgo. Be good. Hello, Capricorn. How we doing? You missed me? I know you did. Capricorn. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back. Guys, this is a shorter message, I should say. Virgo actually came out first. I was shocked. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you noticed anything different, but we kind of changed up the surroundings here. I hope you guys don't mind. I don't care if you do, frankly. Guys, I had to be a little sassy with you, okay? My other space was beautiful, and I miss it. But it was time for a change. Time for an energy change up. So, we're doing it. We're making these changes, I told you. Your girl's been busy. Dealing with some energy. Myself, guys, and I wanted to... Your overall message, I had one specific message for you, Capricorn. A lot of you have been questioning your inner guidance. You've been wondering, can you trust your intuition? Have you led yourself astray in your own thinking? Have you led others astray? Have you misled yourself in any way to think that something was true that it wasn't? It was including like your ego, you know? A lot of us are dealing with that. I know, guys. I have Capricorn. You are my moon. You are my moon energy, Capricorn. And a part of me was questioning, just even going through this energy, like, is what I am perceiving, is that coming from me? Or is that being mirrored back at me through the perception of others in my environment? Because I didn't know. I didn't know for sure. And I was like, is that in me? Or is that, for some of it, it's a residual. It's a residual of energies that maybe that were not quite healed. Maybe even from years ago. Like perceptions that I used to have. Thinking that everyone was against me, you know? or out to get me, and some of them were, don't get me wrong, some people were quite cruel, you know? You're not making that part up in your head, but it's what do you want to do with these energies now? How are these energies serving you now? You know? You want to live in fear that everything is just out to get you, because it's not true. And a lot of it is actually made up in your own head, you know? Are there real energies out here? Yeah, there are. I tap into them. Some of them have been real. I've been really dealing with some energies too. Some real energies. And it called into question. It didn't have anything to do with anyone else. It was just me. Me, myself, and I dealing with some inner wounding that I didn't even know. And I was like, God, did I bury that so down deep that I wasn't even aware? Yeah. And this Mercury retrograde season is just all a part of doing the shadow work, guys. Really digging down deep and doing this healing. Doing this healing that needs to be done. So my answer to you, Capricorn, is no. You're not leading yourself astray. Your growth doesn't stop just because you reach a certain epiphany level, or you have a certain level and connection even with spirit, as it were, as you would call it, or thinking my intuition is so on point. It's that ego kicking in, you know. Yes, your intuition is on point. Yes, you need to own that too and not be afraid to step into your power. But you're also learning how to release yourself and others from attachments that no longer exist, because they don't. We have a choice now, where we stand now, to transverse this energy. And I gotta tell you guys, I was scared as hell to make this shift. Just, let me tell you how scared, just this shift into my office, do you understand? Because I missed my shelf here, you know, I missed my library of knowledge and information being right here at my disposal. I can always connect with it and flow to it and have it right here. I feel naked without it here, to be honest. I'm like, but I can't take everything with me. I need to make this shift, you know, for better productivity. Not to mention, guys, I don't know if you know, but I was sitting on the floor for all those readings, so that starts to hurt your joints after a while. It's like, I know I can't continue to sit on the floor here to do these readings. So this is like, okay, I need to make this transition. I need to make this shift into an environment and a space that is more ergonomic, that is more conducive, where I can still feel creative, but also be more productive and get more work done. Because I was like, but why do I feel this attachment? Why do I feel this tight hold that I'm so afraid to make this transition? And guys, it was a real feeling. So what I want to tell you is, don't think that your feelings are so minuscule, even though you may think they are. You know, we're all going through something. And though this may seem minuscule, though to me I was even thinking that, Ebony, get over yourself. Like, what the heck's the problem? That change was part of my inner healing work, and I realized what Spirit was trying to help me realize is that I need to actually talk about these things more often. I need to talk about transversing these little things, these little issues more often, because I stuff it down and I don't talk about it. You know? I'm a Libra. You know, I handle shit. My Queen of Swords energy is I slay the demons of my own mind, but do I ever share those victories with anyone? No, that's private. For me, anyway. People have no idea what battles I have fought in my own head. They're not meant to know that. Same for you. You have no idea. People have no idea what battles you have fought through in your own head, Capricorn, that you keep private. Because you're used to doing that. You're learning, though, that it's okay to talk about. It's okay to share. Because other people are also going through the same thing. And guess what? Other people are also learning. You're meant to talk about some things. You're meant to share at least the thought process or the emotional process behind an experience because it helps someone, you know? So don't negate your own process. Don't think that your experience is any less than someone else's. You just don't know. You just don't know. I've been quiet for 2 weeks because I just didn't know how to talk about it. You know? This is kind of my wake-up call, and it's kind of your wake-up call. To get out of your way, get out of your head. It's okay. It's okay to be vulnerable. Some of you actually really need to hear that. It's okay to be vulnerable. You know? It doesn't make you weak. It doesn't make you... Your vulnerability makes you human. You've been guarding that heart for so long, Capricorn. Yeah. Some of you are seeing signs right now. You're seeing animals. You're seeing birds. I myself have. I had a rock in my path the other day when I was out walking my dogs. It's this rock right here, this one. This beautiful river rock. It feels really good too. And I just wanted to, like, I picked it up and it's like it stayed in my hand. It didn't want to go anywhere. And I was like, gosh, okay. Okay. It's like it wanted me to clasp it, to know it was okay. That it was okay, you know? That I was okay. That I'm stable. I don't know how to really say that any other way, but that's the emotional experience that I kind of went through when I found this rock. And symbolically, in other ways, it's telling me that I may have come up against an obstacle that was placed in my path on purpose to get me to stop and think, which is what I want to tell you, Capricorn, that maybe if you've been asked to pause, if you've been, especially right now, if you've been feeling like you just needed to pause for a minute because an obstacle was placed in your path to get you to see it, to get you, the universe is literally sending you a sign to get you to see something, pay attention. Pay attention to what little challenges, what little obstacles, or maybe what little gifts the universe is placing in your path on purpose to get you to see, to get you to wake up to connect with your intuition, because it will. I'm seeing the birds too, as you see my crows here, right? I'm finding feathers. I found several feathers this week. Some of you are too. There's no real point to this reading today, guys. I wanted you to know that. I'm just talking, okay? I have some oracle messages here for you, but again, this is just a check-in. Sometimes you don't have to say anything, just share an experience, you know? So don't have any expectation about what you need to do or say. Just feel. Feel. Connect. Your overall energy, Capricorn. Wow. Okay. 2 things. So, we have the Lovers in reverse. In reverse. Nevertheless, they are the Lovers. Lovers. There's your overall energy, Capricorn. Gemini energy. You could be dealing with a Gemini. You may have a heavy Gemini placement, by the way. There's a choice you're considering. Some of you Some of you, this is very much about love for you. You have felt interfered with. You have felt, or something was placed in your path. Maybe someone crossed your path. That's another thing I felt when I tell you. You didn't even see coming. For some of you, this was separation. Some of you, it was. You're calling into question. You're even fighting it. Is this real? Is this just a projection of my mind? Is it real? Can I trust it? Can I trust what I'm feeling? Some of you are making a choice as well. I know that because underlying this particular spread, Capricorn, is the Two of Wands. Some of you are at a distance from this love. Some of you are. And I know that, too, because behind the Two of Wands is the Sun. And it's this choice. This choice. Some of you will stay right where you are, and some of you will go towards the Sun. For some of you, oh yeah, the choice is the Sun. It doesn't matter the way you arrange these cards. Let me know if you're dealing with Leo, of course, Capricorn. This is bright illumination. Bright illumination being shown down to you, something you did not see. It's like a light switch turned on in your head. You see something. Something you missed. Something you missed. For some of you, it's also something you're unsatisfied with. You're giving up. You have a choice. You have a choice, Capricorn. If you have Earth Mother, that's you, Capricorn. Kind of a Queen of Pentacles energy coming out here. We have Psychic Recharge, Grounded Healer, Mentor, and layers. There are layers to you. There are layers to this healing. You are being asked to, many of you are psychically recharging right now. I myself am. You're taking the time out to rest. Rest your bodies, rest your mind, getting out in nature, seeing the birds, right? Getting out in nature. You also have mantra medicine, command, song, incantation, and containment. Number 17. Some of you could be born on January 17th, I felt the need to say, or January 4th. Some of you. Some of you, 17, you could be 17, the number 17. In other ways, 17 is a life path number. 17 is the star. 17 is it's a life path number. It's also leading to abundance. So you have the power to command. Some of you are musicians. I felt that I'm feeling very creative with this card for you. And look, she's holding this yellow crystal ball in her lap, the sun. She holds it in her lap. She's using that solar energy, that solar life force, creating for her creation, which is about family, which is about love. Yeah. Capricorn, hang on. Let's see. Any other messages for Capricorn? I'd say so. The Fool. The Fool, Capricorn. Aquarius energy, the star. I told you. Aries too, for me as a reader, the Fool. Like Ariel, the Little Mermaid. traveling to a new world. She's looking at this high-rise castle up here and this solar light, the castle in the sun up here. The castle in the sun. She's trying to raise her vibration. Raise her vibration to be a match to that high vibration. That's lovely. It's a new beginning for you as well, Capricorn. So if you're recharging in the sunlight, I like that. I like that. Ooh, Two of Cups. Beautiful on the bottom of the deck. Two of Cups. Some of you, it's okay to face each other. It's okay to connect, to reveal, to be vulnerable. It's okay. Possibly with an Empress. You let me know. Ooh, you know this person from work or you want to collaborate with this person. Taurus, Libra energy with the Empress. Capricorn. Beautiful. I hope something in this did serve you. Look out for your solar eclipse reading, as well as your general love reading coming up next week. Talk to you soon, Capricorn. Be well. Taurus, welcome to your energy check-in. How is this retrograde kicking off? How are we enjoying ourselves? I can already tell you, it was pretty rocky for me. It's been a little rocky. If you've watched, of course, all the way through, you know you've picked up little signs. And guys, I encourage you to do that, actually. You know, sometimes don't just check in with your sun sign. Make sure you're checking in with your other placements as well, you know. There are other messages, too, that may resonate with you at this time. Taurus, this is a shorter reading than normal, you know. Just an energy check-in. It's not really designed. There's no... I don't have a spread to do for you today. I do have some oracle cards for you, but that's about it. This is about just checking in with you, the energy of Taurus. I did have a download for you, though. I had... Your download, Taurus, is Atlas Shrugged. Atlas Shrugged. Atlas Shrugged is a book by an author named Ayn Rand. It's one of my favorite books. But the concept, Atlas, as we know, holds up the weight of the world. Right? How convenient, or ironic, I should say, for the sign of Taurus, which is Taurus rules agriculture, Taurus rules growth, Taurus rules money and expansion and beauty and knowledge and power and esteem. Everything we do in the stock market, we base off of Taurus, the bull. That's why the bull is the face of the stock market. So if you think astrology doesn't play into the stock market, think again. But Atlas Shrugged was your message. Based off of the book, it's a concept about what would happen if all the leaders of the world went on strike. What if all the leaders of the world, people who turn the world, who make the world go round, who hold the weight of the world, suddenly they just didn't show up to work one day. They just quit all of a sudden. What would happen? What would humanity do? It's a big concept. What would you do if you stopped carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders? Atlas Shrugged. He did so for a reason. He realized it wasn't his responsibility to hold up the weight of the world. That eventually the world would have to hold itself up. The world would have to ascend. He was holding it there so that it could ascend on its own. But now Atlas has to ascend. Atlas has to do his own healing. He's held that world up for so long. And I think that's what many of the earth signs have been called to do. And this Mercury retrograde is really helping you to do it. It's helping to bring out things that were hidden. Old hurts, old wounds, things like that. That's something I've gathered anyway. One of the things, even me, just sometimes I don't know how to process or say what it is, and I think that's partly what I'm feeling here. It's this, I don't know how to even describe my internal process sometimes, let alone think that I could help someone else do it, you know what I mean? And I think that that's how many of you have felt. This, you didn't even know how to identify your own pain. You did not know how to identify what the root of the problem was, what was really going on. You know there was wounding, you know, some of you know exactly what caused it, but you didn't know how to transverse the energy. You didn't know what to do with the energy. You knew what caused the, you know, the downswing or yourself to be wounded, but you didn't know. You didn't know what to do with yourself the moment that weight was lifted off of your back. You didn't know what to do with yourself the moment the universe said, I'm going to take that weight from you. I'm going to take this globe from you. I'm going to take it off your back now. I'm going to hold on to it now. And it's up to you. You're standing there, responsible now for yourself. Figure out what to do with you, the self. That's your lesson. That's the download anyway I got for you. Nothing much. I also got, actually I don't know if I'm supposed to tell you that. Check in with your other signs. Or check in with your other placements. You may hear something that you're meant to hear. Yeah. Nothing big today, guys. Nothing big today. Your overall message, Taurus, is strength in reverse. Strength in reverse. Leo energy. Strength walks side by side with you, Taurus. Strength, and it's funny, we have the infinity symbol here in the clouds. See it? Some of you missed it. You missed it. You literally missed it. As in, you miss something. Someone. How do you feel that? You miss someone. For others of you, you missed. There was something you missed. A sign. You missed your own power. You thought you were all alone, doing this all by yourself. For many of you, it has felt that way. Some of you had to step into this role when you weren't ready. Some of you had strength is about holding back, guys. Holding back. Some of you intentionally had to, or due to circumstance, due to loss even, I feel the need to say, had to step into a role in your life before your time, before you were even ready. It's like, I've just begun to experience this life, and yet I know, due to this circumstance, I am now going to have to take on a bigger role in my own life than I am even ready for or prepared for. I don't have that time to even address what the hurt was or what the wounding was that has put me into this position in the first place. I don't even have time to address that. It's just go time. It's go time. It's go time, Taurus. It's go time, Taurus. I think I said that for you. Who did I say that for? Scorpio. My last reading for Scorpio. Or Libra. Libra. Yeah. There's a reading on the channel called It's Go Time. You may have some Libra placements. I don't know why I felt the need to say that. Maybe you do. But you were stepping into a role before your time, before you were even mature enough to handle the emotions. Mature enough to even understand what it was that you were supposed to hold back. And it's inner... You thought it was up to you. You thought you were alone. You thought you weren't wanted. You thought you weren't missed. You thought you weren't missed. That's it. You missed someone. That's okay. It's okay. Strength walks side by side with you, Taurus. Not ahead of you. You need people to pull their own weight now. It's okay to step out of that role for a minute. Remember, it's in reverse. It's okay for you to let go of the weight of that world that you had to carry to do your own healing now. It's okay for you to heal, Taurus. One step at a time. I don't exactly have a message for you today. I'm just saying what's intuitively coming to me right now, guys. And I want to tell you, don't feel like you have to have every step figured out right now. Don't feel like you have to have the answer to everything. You know, just let what comes to you come to you. Let what you're inspired to. It's 444 right now on the timestamp, right as I'm telling you this. Your angels are with you. 444 on the timestamp. Wow. You're being guided. You're being helped. Know that. Please know that. Okay. We have sylphs, peace, agent of change, impact, and importance. You were meant to, there was, from what I'm getting from this, and it's funny because we also have drawing down the sun with it. Wildfire, divine masculine, magnificence, and witness. Wow. For some of you, I'm feeling like you had to bear witness to others' pain. Some of it was your own, but it was also the weight of, it was others' pain that you had to carry. You had to. It wasn't a choice about it. You had to do it, Taurus, because if you crumbled, everything else would have crumbled. That's what I feel. Everyone else would have crumbled in your life. That's, someone needed to hear that. But honey, it's your time to heal now. Okay? You had to carry the weight. There's a heavy woodpecker out there. Let me know if you're seeing birds right now. I am. Someone's just trying to hammer that thought home. Some of you women too, females, I will say, you stepped into the divine masculine role in your own life. You had to. For some of you, you were missing that figure in your life. For my divine masculines, you became that guiding force in your own life And look, we have the sunflower over the head here. And number 22, the sun. Wildfire. You are meant to bear witness, but it's also time for you to bear witness to your own magnificence, Taurus. You're meant to know to let your inner light shine. You're meant to heal now. The sun is trying to shine its light back down at you. The sun is literally trying to lift the weight of the world off of your soul, off of your shoulders. For some of you, that could even be a literal translation. The sun is trying to lift the weight of the world off of your shoulders so that you can heal, Taurus. Yes. To be the agent of change in your own life. Because in your healing, you help others. Some of you are also healers. I felt the need to say that. You are healers. But you can't heal the world without healing yourself. Part of that is doing your shadow work, and I know that because underlying this particular spread, Taurus, what do we have? We have, the Four of Swords. Rest, healing, rejuvenation. Healing and rejuvenation at this time. The Four of Swords for you. We also have drawing down the moon, the divine feminine, underneath this deck here. The source, the channel, the stillness. You're being asked to be still for a minute. Just a minute. Any final messages, please, for Taurus? Final messages, please, for Taurus. I'd say a karmic balance is being had for you, Taurus. The Knight of Wands to the Six of Wands to Justice. And I told you some of you have Libra in your chart, or you're dealing with a Libra. But this is about you passionately pursuing your own victory now, and it's the karmic balance that's being brought to you with justice. It's your time. You are completing a karmic cycle. Taurus, for some of you, I feel like this is old. It's generational old. That's how old it feels, to be honest with you. Old. Yeah, that's beautiful. Hello. Don't drop it. Justice. All right. Balance. Balance. Two of coin. Taurus, I hope something in here did resonate with you guys. Oh yeah, did we notice anything different about the space? Are we okay with it? I'm balancing myself too, guys. I'm making changes, making adjustments. It's been tough for me, let me tell you what. I'm trying to tell you, Taurus. I'm trying to tell you. But if we like it, we keep it, you know what I mean? I don't care if you like it or not. I'm keeping it. Taurus. Sending you love and light. Please remember to drop a like on the video for all signs if something did resonate with you. Let's show your girl some support, you know, all that jazz. Guys, talk soon. Be well.